Hello, everyone. Um, I have chosen the article Mothering, Guilt, and Shame for my first outline. And please excuse if you hear any noise from upstairs because my upstairs neighbors have been really loud today, but hopefully my headphones will block that out. So as I've gotten older, I've become more aware of the burdens that motherhood carries, and I knew that motherhood can lead you to becoming isolated from your friends without kids, and that the toll that being responsible for another human being 100% of the time can take on your well-being. I work in retail, and a lot of kids with their mothers or come in and they scream and cry endlessly for no reason. I've seen my coworkers say things about the mother that they would probably never say to someone's face. Every action that your child does becomes a reflection of yourself and your parenting. And I've also seen how motherhood is placed on a pedestal, how commercials of happy mothers spending time with their kids, and bright-eyed women changing diapers in a dark nursery. In my Sociology of Families course, we've talked about how the social construction of motherhood can lead to women feeling ashamed that they aren't as happy as they're expected to be. And I think that change is needed. Change is needed in how we view motherhood as a society for women to feel less shame and guilt over normal feelings. It's normal not to be happy all the time after you have a baby. Plenty of women suffer from postpartum depression, and sleep deprivation can make women feel powerless. These feelings make women feel like they're not doing something or like they're doing something wrong by not living up to the expectations that are presented in the media. And in this article, Sutherland shows that guilt and shame are both innate responses to motherhood and also a result of not living up to the societal expectations of how a perfect mom should be. This reading taught me that shame is more of a result of not living up to the standard of your roles in society, and no one's capable of living up to the idealized perfect mother, especially not women of different cultures, classes, or working mothers. The reading expanded my horizons by allowing me to see that the standard of motherhood being based on white, middle-class women is unrealistic for many people, and change is needed for mothers to feel better about themselves and how they raise their kids. And personally, I know that my own mother experiences shame and guilt despite being a white middle-class woman. She was able to be a stay-at-home mom until she wanted to go back to work. She feels guilty that maybe she is the reason for my anxiety and other problems. As Sutherland describes, the perfect motherhood standard is impossible for anyone to reach. This standard has led to my mom feeling shame over the fact that her kids aren't perfect like they're supposed to be. And I'm sure that these feelings of shame and guilt are much worse for women who are not white and middle class, which is why it is important for there to be a change to the standard. Yeah. And then, so my second outline, I chose Expanding the Joys of Cooking and How Class Shapes the Emotional Experience of Family Food Work by Olschuk. And I understand how cooking can connect people socially, culturally, and emotionally. Food accompanies big events like weddings, funerals, holidays, and birthday celebrations. It's a societal expectation that a family sits down every night and has dinner together while talking about their day. Food is so much more than just making something to fuel the people around you. What you make is connected to your culture, your class, and your emotions. If it were just about nutrition, then the entire world would just be eating supplement shakes or protein bars for every meal. I know that the standard in America is that women are supposed to be the ones who cook all the meals and have them ready whenever their husbands get home. I've read many an article about the easiest or fastest meal to prepare for working parents. I feel as though capitalism and class influence how people feel about cooking. The cooking can bring joy to those who have the time and resources for it, while feeling more like a burden to people who can't afford the time and resources. And Olschuk illustrates how time, choice, connection, and appreciation of food connect the resources that are available to individuals based on their intersectionality. I have learned that people with limited resources find ways to adapt the ideals set by society to their lifestyles, showing that people have to lower their expectations of how cooking is supposed to be to enjoy it and live a healthier lifestyle in the process. This adds on to my idea that capitalism creates more burdens for people with limited resources. The profiles that Olszczuk worked with showed that cooking is more of an option for men and that they feel more connected and appreciated whenever they cook for people than like women do. And this reinforces how gendered expectations have a huge role in who does what and when. And personally, growing up, I noticed a huge difference in who cooks in my family, when, and how they cook. Like my family is very traditional, especially on my mom's side, I guess. So my grandmother, my mom, and my aunt would always make all the food for the holidays, while the men would talk about how much they love the holidays. And spoiler alert, it's because they had zero responsibilities for anything other than just like showing up and hanging out, you know? Like, and I remember my mom saying once, well, if we were gone for a week, your dad just might starve to death, because if there was nothing to eat in the fridge whenever he got home from work, he just like wouldn't eat because, oh, there was nothing left out there for me. Like, make your own food, whatever. And I know for sure that he can cook simple stuff like grilled cheese sandwiches and use the grill for like steak and potatoes, but I don't think I've ever seen him use the grill to make a meal. Whenever we had less money when I was a little kid, I remember feeling like I had to do everything perfectly, like whenever I would make cookies, because I didn't want to risk throwing money away if I messed up. Like, I remember one time that I accidentally made cookies with powdered sugar instead of flour, accidentally, and I just felt so bad about it because they were ruined, you know? Um, and as I got older, I started to feel a little bit better about making mistakes, because I knew that it wouldn't break our budget to buy more. And this is just one example of how class can influence, you know, how we view, or how we view cooking and everything like that. And it's just really important to make this connection.